Today on the Ave Podcast, you just got paid. It's Friday morning. This series is jumping. You feel all right? Anyways, as promised, as part of the special series within the podcast, I'm releasing round 4 of the R&B Fantasy Draft. And when I say we, that means I'm joined by Shalli, DJ Chris Nice, Wukup Productions, and DJ Keo as you share our selections. Plus, you debate if another artist should get the Michael Jackson Prince exception rule. There's some stealing within picks. There's some jokes on the selections. And we discussed that this particular artist's career should have been bigger than what it is right now. I don't want to give it away, but once you get into the show, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But I got to thank you for the support throughout the series, especially for all the ones that's responded so far. It's greatly appreciated. I would just ask to show that love in my ratings. Hit me with that 5-star love and support of this series and the podcast network as a whole. And that's for wherever you listen to podcasts, or simply hit the like button for the ones that offer the like option instead of the star rating. And check out the extensive catalog on SouthShareAve.com for all of my past work, which includes the earlier rounds of the draft, if you haven't peeped it already. And if you want to watch it, please head over to my South Share Ave YouTube channel and watch it on all of your devices, which includes watching it on your big screen or your theatrical screen, however you have your setup happening in your house. I don't know. Definitely go with whatever option you like. All right, for your NBA fans, I haven't forsaken you, my peoples. There's going to be a hoop-centric episode in a couple of weeks on the early part of the season so far, and why your beloved Lakers are playing so terribly. I'm just kidding. I don't want to talk about the Lakers. It's the Ave Podcast with Cal C on South Shore Ave Radio. It's R&B time.
Welcome to the Ave Podcast with Cal C on South Shore Ave Radio.
All right, so this is round 4 of the R&B Fantasy Draft. We're looking at the list here. Everybody can see it right now. We got some heavy hitters here. We got all the producers' picks. We got some shockers here and there, which I like. I love that, actually. But round 4, we're doing snake draft style. We're starting back with Chris Nice here. So he just finished off the 3rd round pick in Luther Vandross. And reminiscent of the days when, where he had to smash his records in half for, not want to play it when he broke up with somebody. So we're going to start off with round 4. Chris, who do you got? And then we're gonna go from there.
I'm going with another goosebump moment. And somebody else I was blessed to co-promote also in concert. And the show was going great. The show went great. And at the end of the night, I was gonna get what I always wanted, which was a picture with this person. And this person flipped out on us and said they want no pictures, and bounced on the side of a camera, bounced, and I was heartbroken. But at least I got to see this person live, and I was involved with the concert. But I never got a picture to show it, but the flyer. So it still breaks my heart today. But goosebump moments. I mean, unique voice, and the songs that this individual put out, I first heard in New York. I got the record from New York, a 45 from New York one time, and it blew my mind. The sound and just the lyrics and whatnot. Love this individual, and that's Miss Anita Baker.
I love her.
Oh, Chris, I'm gonna fight you on that one.
That's beautiful.
Oh man,
Love that individual. Love that individual. Man. To this day, I still think in New York, they say, smell and music and stuff brings you back to a certain place. To this day, when I hear from beginning to end, 365 days of the year, like Same Old Love, I'm literally in New York City. I'm in the Bronx, like in front of my aunt's house, like Lafayette Boulevard, Calvin. Mm-hmm. I'm in the Bronx. She had a record store down the street, and we'd hit the record store sometimes and pick up certain tracks, and you were proud to. There was something about picking up tracks when it just dropped in New York than waiting till it came to Canada. Like the first time I bought like a Rakim album, Rakim just dropped, and I got the album from that store, so certain tracks bring you back to these points. And that artist for me, like you always remember where you got her first track and what it did for you. Her talent. I mean, shit. There's not much I have to say. And if you get a chance to see her live, because a lot of these artists are getting older. So now that the pandemic and stuff is pretty much wrapped up, all these older acts, go see them.
Yeah.
You will not regret it. Like, go see them. They're getting older now. We don't know how long they're gonna perform for. Like, I just missed the OJs. You know, the OJs stopped performing.
Yeah.
They retired. So I
Now,
never.
there's only one original OJ left, so that's.
Yeah, but to me, I know, but as long as Eddie's there, I'm good.
Yeah, Eddie's the
You know what I'm saying?
still.
As long as
I
Eddie's
saw them
there,
perform. Yeah.
I never thought of, man.
Yeah,
You know, and now they're retired. So with these older acts, like, you know, and Anita Baker comes to your city, trust me, you will not regret it. Go sit in on that. Goosebump moments, man. Anita Baker. Now imagine Anita with Babyface.
Before you imagine it, let's put this to a vote, because based on the rules here, right? Every artist has to start from 1980, right? Do we make a third exception for Anita Baker? Here's why I say this: because technically, she started in 1979 with Chapter 8.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
yeah, that was a group. She was the lead singer of a group.
Yeah, she was lead singer of the group. They had a couple of tracks, and then Arista Records came and bought them out. Yeah, they gave Chapter 8 or Chapter 11, and basically dropped them from the group, right? And then she basically left the industry and went back to, according to like folklore, she went back to being a waitress and being a receptionist until somebody got her back into the game in 1982. So based on the rules, I would say no. Chris picked them. So I want the three of you to say.
But hold on. Let me jump in there. But she wasn't a solo artist.
But it didn't matter because her career started in 1979.
See, I got it wrong then, because I thought how I was doing this is, when did their solo artist start? Like, when did their solo act start? So everybody that I chose on my list, their solo started.
Okay, but hold on a second. That's what I'm saying. Do we make a third exception here? So Keo, Shalli, Kevin, like I don't have a problem putting her in.
I'm okay with it.
I think that this is my opinion. I think that this should be an exception, but it's not really an exception. What is the artist known as at whatever point? Like, if they're known as, you know what I mean? Like the group's name, then technically they're not that artist. They're not that artist until they're known as being that artist. To me,
unless it's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or let's say specifically say, Anita Baker featuring Anita
that's
Baker.
different.
So it was
like,
just
you can't
group,
use the eyes. Yeah, you can't use the Isley brothers, but let's just say Ron Isley, let's just say his career as a solo artist started at whatever point. But also depends, like, if they were the lead singer of the group and they were still known sort of as a solo act as the lead singer of the group, that still might be different too.
And that's why I said before, it's okay if you take them from, because I mean, somebody like somebody like them never left the group, so that's fine.
Nobody knew of Anita Baker before the 80s.
And that's what I'm saying is,
no
exception is there. I'm cool with it because I love Anita Baker.
Everybody loves Anita Baker.
And I think about when I think of the 80s, you don't think, you think of her. So I'm okay with it, but I'm just saying, just technically by the rules, she did start in 79 because that was somebody I was looking at too. And I was like, you know what? I'll leave it for somebody else to pick it.
You're gonna allow it right now.
So, so you're sure you didn't bring it up because I'm doing well and you're bitter?
Next question.
Well.
So Anita Baker. That's all. It's all good with me.
Yes.
So we'll run that. There you go. You got voted in, Chris. The exception. I'm going to put a star beside it.
Got exception. Yes.
Just so you know, the exception was made.
You're gonna give an asterisk there.
Shalli, who you got? Who's your pick?
Gosh, I'm picking out of a hat right now because there's just too many people I can pick from. I keep saying that, I know, but I'm going to. Give me a second here.
Take your time.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna pick. Oh my gosh. See, I'm gonna pick. Okay, no, I'm gonna pick, and this is gonna be a surprise. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna pick Lizzo.
Okay.
Oh, you're going new. You're going new school with your
real
group.
new school. Yeah.
You're going new school.
I'm going to pick Lizzo. I don't know if you've heard her recent album, but it's ridiculous. And actually, apparently, that's what she's wanted to do this whole time. But you know, the industry, and she had to fulfill certain things because songs were released in commercials and whatever. But it's her. I like her new project, but also hearing her voice.
Yeah.
Like, my personal opinion, I know people might not think so because they worship Beyonce. Sorry, Beyonce fans. She's a better singer. She's a better singer. Sorry.
But they're gonna come for
and
you.
And I actually think that
Beehive is nuts.
I picked her. Don't come for me.
My plan with Lizzo, for one, she represents also I don't know, like a certain type of woman. It's not just a bigger woman, but like she's young, but she also understands and respects the old school as well. And I also think, like with the producer I chose, my plan is to have her do, like, because she has a lot of 70s influence and a lot of the stuff she's doing in 80s influence. But my plan is also to sort of like groom her a little into an edgier sound as well, and have that come out, which I don't think she's featured enough of, but she can do it. She's very versatile. She can pretty much do anything. She can dance. I think she's sexy. I'd like to see a sultrier side, as opposed to like an out there, like raunchy, sexy side. I like to see, I'd like to see her to a sultrier side. Definitely shown the sultrier side in some of the fashion. So I think that, it would be really cool to show like another side of Lizzo that I do think exists. I think she'd be great in a group. She does all her backgrounds. Her harmonies are insane. And I think it would show, I think it would be great. And again, like, I'd like to show, like, I'm going to be the manager of the group. So I'd like to curate like a certain side of Lizzo I think is there that people haven't seen yet, which is a little more of a, how would I say, like less is more, you know? And I think she's gorgeous, obviously. I don't care what anybody says. She's eye candy for a certain demographic of people, which is actually a very large demographic of people that people don't really like to talk about. Like people act like people don't like bigger women, and that's a lie.
That's a lie.
You're from Trinidad. That's a lie. And I think that presented the right way, and I think it would be great in the group. She's very soulful. Listen to her recent album, and I think
Flute game is crazy.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, she's just winning right now. Period. So in terms of bringing notoriety to the group, positive promotion. She's also a TV producer now. Like, there's a lot going on.
Okay, I didn't know that.
She could give a lot of input, you know, into music videos and production, and she's an awesome writer. Like, she's a huge writer and producer. So look it up, guys.
Serious.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nope.
My children love It's About Damn Time. They sing that every time it comes on the radio.
Everybody loves that song.
Oh man, they can't stop listening to that song.
She's honest. She could do ballads. She can do it all, but vocally, forget the antics. Listen to the album.
This could be a Silk Sonic remix supergroup type.
This is what I'm saying.
I see that you're trying to go. I see where you're trying to go. I see you.
Yeah.
I see what you're trying to do.
I agree with you when you say, like, get rid of the antics, because sometimes she loses me in that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think she needs more time and more albums, and I think she will come with it. She said she has a lot of stuff going in the vault. I think that the antics, I'm not saying it wasn't her, but I think it was also part of a package and the attention. And, you know what I mean? Like
social media corrupts everything.
Like so
that.
She still has a
everything.
lot to offer. So I'd like to see, I'd like to see more. She's a musician, and she's not just like not that being just a singer. I hate it when people say that, like, it is nothing, because it's not nothing. But she's she's sort of a genius type, and I think that we've yet to really see it really be pushed to the forefront as part of her marketing. So,
like I give props to that pick. So yeah, just to try to speed this up a little bit, because obviously the 2 exceptions. Well, now the 3rd exception need a baker. We'll put a actually no, I did put the star beside that just so Chris sees. I
still can't see it. It's blocked off online, but it's all
okay. That's fine. But the 2 exceptions being, Prince and Michael Jackson. I'm a little jealous. I'm a little petty. I want some of that Michael Jackson influence. Obviously, I couldn't get Michael Jackson. Obviously, I couldn't get Usher. So I'm gonna go with Chris Brown.
Solid pick. Solid.
Okay, my hands are up now, man.
Good pick, man. That's a very good. Chris can sing his ass off, and he's an excellent dancer. That's a very good pick.
That was gonna be my number 4, Cal.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't have any male singers. I don't have that male energy out there yet. So I have Whitney and Beyonce. So I think Jermaine Dupri and Chris Brown connection. That's gonna, Lord have mercy.
That sonically that fits. That totally fits.
This is what I'm saying. So it's like, depending on who I went with, it was like this is going to determine how I pick. So there's. I mean, I'm going to save this for the honorable mentions, but I'm like, but there's some artists, man. I'm like, it's hurting me that I can't. I don't see them fitting on this right now. But I'm like, it's hurting me. It's hurting my heart.
Yes.
But oh man. But we're gonna. I'll allow it. But yeah. But Chris Brown. I mean, you all know the accolades that he's got. He is the fun fact. He's one of the youngest artists to own their masters right now. So
where you learn that from?
Which is right, exactly, right, exactly. Which is amazing. Which is especially for this time, like it's amazing. To be correct, 197 million songs sold worldwide. He's the highest. He's already one of the highest grossing African American tourist artists of all time. Has the most Billboard Hot 100 entries of any male singer in history. As crazy as this sounds, and it sounds crazy to even say this, I feel like he could be a little bit bigger. And the reason,
100%. Something happened with him after that whole Rihanna thing, and I didn't even realize how deep it was until recently. He only really started touring properly recently. Like he hadn't been to the UK for like almost 10 years until like just the other day. And like of course, I don't even know how many thousands and thousands of people were there. And I was like, what? I didn't realize like the boycott was that deep. Like, and the thing is, you didn't realize because you're still hearing like 1 million Chris Brown songs every year. You know what I'm saying? On mainstream radio, like top of top, in terms of rotation. So that's really what messed things up. And that's sad. And he deserves, in my opinion, just like a lot of other artists of other genres who've been accused of things and even made right and didn't, as far as we know, we haven't heard anything recently of anything like this happening. And in fact, we've heard of things happening. Look how long R. Kelly was doing his thing, and there were so many things happening, and nothing happened to him until like recently. So I don't understand like why, you know what I mean? Even I don't know. It's not like Rihanna was in the media like bashing him and saying that he's like hurting
There's a
her.
reason for that though.
Yeah, but you know what? He also his marketing though. That's the only thing. His marketing onward was genius, but also it might not have helped with that in a way. But but they did the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Because people went with the bad boy persona. I think he got the iron fist of the industry, whereas a lot of other people who worse situations who've done worse things or similar things didn't even get that, especially after years. Like
they got a slap on the wrist.
It's because of how, again, Rihanna, where she was at and the pedestal that she had been on, and more have been on a pedestal over the years, So
plus,
he's amazing.
Plus, never underestimate the impact of video and pictures, right? It's kind of like the Ray Rice.
It's just social media taking off.
But I'm saying like with the Ray Rice thing, like if the football player that basically knocked out his wife, like he got suspended a few games just going to football, but because the video came
elevator,
out, the elevator. Once we saw that, his career was finished.
Hey, you know what I mean?
So the mugshot of Rihanna was, I mean, that was hard for everybody to see, right?
Yeah, it was rough.
But with Chris Brown, I think you stole the words out of my mouth. Like I think it kind of went a little left, and he's still. I mean, look at the accomplishments he's had. It's still major, you know. And again, every time he puts out an album, it's not 10, 15 songs. It's like 35 songs.
Yeah, he's 30 songs.
He's crazy.
It's like you can't even save it on Spotify because it's so long. It takes so much.
He didn't even live out the rest of the talents that people, since he's been 15, they're saying this guy directs. Since he's 15, he writes, he produces, we haven't even seen. He paints, he spray paints. This guy's like pudding with just craziness.
One of the best dancers, period. Like one of the best dancers. And just a quick story before we move on to Keo's pick. Same thing. When he first came out, I thought, kiddie artist. I didn't know about like the genius level of him at the time. So I'm like, yo, man, I'm really liking Omarion because when he came up with Touch and Entourage and all that stuff, I was like,
Icebox, man.
Omarion songs.
And he could dance, and I'm like, man, he can't dance like Omarion, And then one day I saw him do an award show, and this guy destroyed the stage. And then to finish off the performance, he cartwheel somersaulted off the stage, and he didn't just land on his feet; he landed into a walk. I don't even know how to explain it, but like he cartwheeled and then just started walking.
And he's tall.
Yeah, and he's like
crazy.
6'2", 6'3", something like that. So when he did that, somersaulted high, landed into a walk and just walked off the stage with a swagger. And I was like, all right, I'm sorry. I'm in. I'm all in. Like I was done after that. I was like, Omarion, go over here. Go over there. You know what I mean? Like
that's special. But I agree with something that Shalli said though. Because when he started to go down that, like the marketing towards like the bad boy thing and started to get even more tattoos and stuff, I felt like a part of that helped his career even stay longer in the shadows after the Rihanna thing.
It helped and hurt, I would say,
a little bit of both.
Time.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of both.
Yeah,
because he basically embraced like, all right, I'm a bad boy now. All right,
it's authentic, fine. But
yeah. Because Chris is such a talent that I wish. He could do like classic R&B and just like sing, because like a lot of stuff is like trap almost, and like all this other stuff. He's doing all this. Like I would like a real ballad. Like I think the closest he came to that is like Deuces, but he can't.
I love that song.
He's amazing talent, but he can do it. So I get that's what I'm saying. Like, it helped and hurt because he probably. If that incident never happened and all this other stuff, he probably would have been doing that route anyway.
The next Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. I think going there. He was going.
They put the balladeers on a pedestal that they don't want to put him on. And he didn't want to go there to be rejected. Like what's Adele? Like Adele has issues. Like they talk about her issues, like serious issues, but then they still are like, yeah, but Adele, you know what I mean? It's a certain pedestal that she's relatable. They knew that. But I'd like to still see it, and I think because of that, he has a lot of places he can go still.
Yeah, there's still time. He's only like 32.
As an artist, he's
only like 32.
He's still young. Yeah,
he's still young. Like there's still time.
So much reinvention he could still do. In
how old is he?
I'm gonna, let me Google it right now to make sure. But he's in his early 30s.
Wow.
There's still time. This is not like an old guy.
He's an old guy to do those dance routines, though. I don't know. For that long, he's still doing it. Like, oh my god! You
gotta do like the Michael Jordan thing, and you gotta move away from dunking to doing jumpers. And that's where you gotta go.
Something.
He just turned 33. Like spring. So there's still time. There's still time. That's the crazy part. Keo, who's your pick for
all right, we're gonna start moving quicker. My pick is Lauryn Hill, and I think that vocally he matches Usher and Michael in that style, whatever. But she could also rap, she could sing, and she's gonna bring a different energy to this super concert that I'm creating right now with the Timberland beats that she's never got a chance to rap on or sing on. I think this would be the fire combination right there.
Guys creating a story.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go to that concert. Everybody's gonna go to that concert.
Yeah, the problem is though, Keo, she might not.
I know. That's true. I think, honestly, I think she's like, Michael's here, Usher's here, Timberland's here. You know what? I'll come out to the dressing room. We'll do
That's
this.
funny.
Yeah, she'll come out all right, but only when they leave backstage.
I know. The thing about Lauryn Hill that bothers me the most, and we did a podcast about this when we did the Fugees thing.
Yeah.
It's such a terrible story of wasted potential. Like it annoys me so much, especially when we were talking about we talked like for a couple of hours after the podcast was over about this thing, and it still to this day it bothers me because she's such a phenomenal talent.
Huge.
Like she was killing the rap game and the singing game at the same time.
And she had the looks.
She had the looks. She was beautiful.
Lips.
She had no competition. And we're talking like early 90s shit. Lil Kim, all these other people were out there. Nobody was even sweating that because Lauryn Hill was singing. Like, you gotta think about that. There's bad boy time when everyone was killing it. Like, she had all this competition, and Lauryn Hill wasn't sitting with the female rappers. They were putting her aside the top male rappers in the game. Because, you know, that's the thing. They always like separate, like, it's just whatever. But they were like, she was there at the top.
She was there with Biggie and Nas and Method Man and Snoop.
All of them, but the lyricist rappers, not even just the rappers are entertained, like lyricist rappers, she was up there. And so like it burns my soul that it's such a waste of potential, but like this is my pick, and I think this is could be an amazing show if she shows up.
If she shows up.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You know, Keo, remember when Dave Chappelle did that block party?
Yeah, I remember.
When Dave Chappelle did that block party, that's when I knew it was over with Lauryn Hill for a while, because
he was trying to put it together.
No, there was something about Lauryn Hill that I always felt when she came out on stage, there was an aura around her.
Yeah, remember we talked about it. It was like this dark cloud over her.
When she came out on stage for that Dave Chappelle show, after she hadn't been around for a while, that when she stepped out, I was like, oh my God, like the aura was gone. You saw the hardness in her energy. Like you saw, like this is like the person you once knew as Lauryn Hill is no longer. When she walked on that stage, and it was almost like this was a clone for me.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? Like Mary J. Blige has had the insane life too, but she could put that into music and monopolize it and make money from it. Whereas Lauryn Hill couldn't. And it seems like a layup for her because she's so talented. Like you can just turn it. Everyone can relate to her struggles, whatever. She couldn't do it.
I think Lauryn Hill, when her Miseducation came out, from the time that they got to the last track, Everything is Everything, and I was like, I can't even listen to the song no more. It's too much. I knew for her. Like, I'm like, where do you go? Like after this, you really got to reinvent. True. Like it was mainstream. Like it wasn't just, R&B or hip hop that you could grow into mainstream. So it's like,
it went straight to the top.
Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, to some degree, the Bobby Brown effect. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just so
suffering
good
for success,
so popular. That and so much time also spent on that album. Every single track, like that, lasted long.
There's very few albums that there's no bad songs or songs that you're like, I don't know. We'll suddenly fast forward a little bit, like from beginning to end, that album was just phenomenal.
That was a long season of touring and whatever it was for her.
Yeah,
so.
it just took his toll.
Yeah.
And Wyclef took his toll too. We're gonna talk about that.
The classic image of her is when she could barely hold the Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? She won so much Grammys, like
too.
she was holding it with two hands, like trying not to drop them.
Yeah,
like that's where her career is going. So to see that after that she never made another album, to me is like, I think it's honestly one of the most like unbelievable stories like of the last like 25 years of music. Because I'm like, how does that talent not make another album?
Yeah,
crazy.
You're surrounded by amazing, talented people too. So it wasn't like you're just on the island by yourself.
Yeah, but
you do all this by yourself. Like she she had resources and things available to her.
But Kilo, when this show's done, we'll get into why.
I know we talked about this already.
Off air, we'll get into why, because there's a reason why.
I know
that
why.
You know, there's a reason why that album just like she just did one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know,
it's
not
we talked about it. We talked about it.
There's some content that probably.
That's for the behind the curtains that you got.
Yeah. but that's why it was also so remarkable, you know, and to some degree, you know, Bob Marley did something similar where like mainstream with content that most people couldn't go mainstream with for very long, if at all.
Yeah.
You know, so very interesting. I mean,
if you think about it, Shalli, she was what I said about Whitney Houston, I could say the same thing about her. The only difference is at least Whitney got to empty her bucket a little.
Yeah.
You know, she put out more, but it's the same thing. The world was literally in her hands. And she fumbled it. You know what I mean? When you see that kind of talent, like allow that to happen, you're like, you know, what's your team about? What are you about? Like, how could that?
She needs to be protected. You know,
but that goes to the strength of Beyonce, because Beyonce could have been in that situation too, but she has such a solid team behind her that like they're getting her ready for the next project when this one's done. So she doesn't have time to deal with any of this nonsense.
Including some of her, a lot of her team has also been her family. Who's
just about to say that.
Protective, her lawyer, his cousin, and you know,
people who care about her, and that's the biggest factor more than anything else. Lauren doesn't have anybody
that she could trust.
Yeah. Beyonce did, and that's why Beyonce's still here, and Lauren isn't where she could have been.
I feel like Kevin wants to add something quick before he make his next pick.
No. I was just tuning into all the facts of the opinions. Everything you guys are saying makes sense because there's definitely a story behind it all that we probably won't ever know, but it's deep, definitely deep.
100%. So you got the last pick of round number 4. Who you got?
Okay, seeing that you're 2 times my size, maybe 3 times my size. I want to take you out for the Chris Brown. So I sat back. I was like, okay, my picks of late are all older and more seasoned. I need to spice it up with something and someone that's fresh and new that is also very different. And I'm going with The Weeknd. Okay. Going with The Weeknd.
That is a very good pick.
Because he'll bring that new element to the history and the accolades of all the people that are already on that list.
And you know what?
Yeah, that makes sense with the other picks you have.
Yeah. 100%.
I see that. The sound,
Yes, and the sound as well. It will fit. It will fit.
Oh, that's good.
I totally get it, man. I totally get what he's going after.
Yeah. I still want to poke Cal in his eye for the Chris Brown, but yeah. You got me going on that one, man.
And you know he's right. You know his family. My kids went to the same school with like his cousins and them. I used to hang with his uncle and not even know. Like his family's all up in Scarborough.
They're all Scarborough.
Yeah. Scarborough people.
Right. I forgot what school he went to. We used to play tournaments and stuff at this school, but he's all Scarborough, man. Yeah. Like his whole clan, everything is all Scarborough.
He was in Malvern, though. I know he was in Malvern.
Yeah, for a bit.
Wexford. I think he went to Wexford.
Right, is Wexford?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Totally makes sense.
But his family lived in Malvern, like literally the street behind me. Like his uncle, all of them. I used to see them at one point almost every day. And then one day, like he told me in passing, who his cousin was, his nephew was. I was like, what? You know, like, shit, I got to talk to you different. You know? but yeah, I get him. You know, I get where he's taking his career.
Yeah, and to match up with your group once again, like who you got so far, that actually fits really well too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had to bring a little bit more of a newer, modern element to spice things up to fast forward it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it works. It works. Again, I'm imagining this guy with Prince.
There you go. See what I'm saying?
And
Jam and Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, that formula. Come on. It would be crazy. It would be crazy.
No. Okay. So 4 rounds in, we got, just to announce it again, we got Anita Baker on the exception rule. We got Lizzo, Lizzo. We got Chris Brown. We got Lauryn Hill, which this is why, like I said, I'm liking this draft right now, is because the picks that we're making is forcing us to form a certain group. So you can't go with the popular choice, because sometimes that popular choice may not work.
Yeah,
you know, so it might not fit. So like, if, you know, it's like adding all these talents together, but you know, after one album, they're going sideways. Because, you know, you want this to go to the have the test of time. So then the last one, of course, is The Weeknd. 4 rounds, elephant still in the room. We'll get to that in a moment.
Thank you for checking out the latest episode of the Ave Podcast, round 4 of the R&B Fantasy Draft. There's only 2 episodes left. All right, so if you haven't caught up on them yet, get to them ASAP, man. What are you waiting for? Round 5 will be out next Friday, November 4th. All right, so be on the lookout for that, of course. Hit that like and subscribe buttons, rate, review as well, and leave comments. And check out SouthSharav.com for the catalog. After the series is over, I'm going to have a poll to vote on who you think had the best supergroup of the draft. And of course, we're going to set them to the updated playlist of the draft on Spotify tomorrow morning, where the round 4 selections or the song selections will be inputted into the list. All right, so please enjoy that. All right. For DJ Chris Nice, for Shalli, for DJ Keo, and Wukup Productions, this is Cal C. And you just listened to the latest episode of the Ave Podcast here on South Sharav Radio. All right, until next Friday, we out.